you want to improve your accent, if you want to improve your listening comprehension, then these are the videos for you. They're very unique. You will not find other exercises like this on the internet. We are practicing with real life people who are trying to improve their listening comprehension and their accent through pronunciation, accentuation, and intonation. And if you want to do that, you can come along with us right now and you can watch these videos and practice with us. And if you would like to participate, just click on the link in the description to the Discord group. The first two people who volunteer once the video starts are the two people who get to practice with us on that day. And if you find these videos helpful, remember to press the like button and also subscribe. I need your help to grow my channel. It's a very unique channel. Well, now let's get started and let's improve our English accents and our listening comprehension. No, well,
So,
hideous means horrible, ugly, disgusting.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
So if I say,
No.
oh, you haven't seen that before? Okay. Well, our example,
Yes.
the example sentence that we have is the monster in the movie had a hideous face. What does that mean?
So the monster had a very scary face,
Mm-hmm.
or
Scary, ugly, disgusting, any of those
yes,
words, really. Do you understand?
yes, yes. I got it. Yeah.
Okay, Alex, have you seen that word before? Hideous. Hideous.
yes, yeah. I saw,
Hideous.
yeah. It
Can you
is
let me hear you say that
malicious,
word? What did you say?
malicious,
Well, malicious is
bad person.
yeah, but malicious is like evil intentions, bad intentions. But hideous means it has more to do with the way something looks. So hideous
Look,
means
okay,
like ugly, ugly looking, disgusting looking.
okay.
And malicious, that means something like bad intentions, what's in your heart.
Bad
Something ugly.
intention.
That means like
Bad,
something ugly in your heart.
okay, okay.
Does that make sense?
Because sometimes when I, yeah, sometimes when I looked in my language, it give me like, especially when I looked up in Google, they give me more, yeah, synonyms like that. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I could see why you would be confused, but they they're coming from a different place. Hideous and
Okay,
malicious.
yeah. Okay. So next time I have to look it up in English dictionary, not in Arabic. English dictionary, because it will be more clear.
Yeah, it can be confusing sometimes. Alex, can you read the example sentence? What does it say?
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
And what does that mean?
Like the monster in the movie have a scary face or
Oh, that's
bad
right.
face or ugly face.
Ugly, scary, disgusting, something like that. Okay. Alex, can you read the first one, two, three, four, five words?
The monster in the movie.
Okay. In that phrase, the monster in the movie, which words would you say are very important or stand out?
Monster and movie.
Okay, and when you say monster, that has two syllables. Which syllable has all of the power?
Ma, monster.
Mon, mon, mon.
Manis,
The
monster,
monster.
monster.
How about when you
Mm.
say movie? Which syllable has all of the power in movie?
Movie.
Movie. Okay,
Movie.
movie.
Ooh, ooh, yeah.
So it will
The
sound
ooh,
like this: the monster in the movie.
the monster in the movie. Yeah,
The monster in the movie. Pachu, can you say
the
that?
monster. Sorry.
Okay. The monster in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Uh, can you read another? Because you're not reading, right, Pachu? So let me tell you the words. Had a hideous face. Had a hideous face.
Had a hideous face.
And what does hideous mean, Pachu?
Hideous means disgusting, scary.
Ugly.
Uh, scoop, spooky is what? Can
Spooky
you
is
say
scary.
spooky?
Spooky is scary. Hideous is more like ugly.
Yes,
Ugly.
ugly. Okay.
Which words are important in that phrase? Had a hideous face.
Uh, is a hideous?
Hideous. Okay. And what do you think about face? Do you think we should emphasize that word also?
Yes,
Okay.
face.
Now hideous, that has three syllables. Hideous. Which syllable has all of the power, all of the sound?
Hid,
Hid. Okay.
hideous.
Hideous. Hideous.
Hideous.
Hideous face.
Hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
Okay, and we'll just give high tones to all of these important sounds. So we'll say the monster in the movie had a hideous, except the final sound will make low. The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous
Alex, can you say that? The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, Alex, can you make a what
Yes.
kind of face have monster? How will you make a question? What kind of face
That's,
monster have?
yeah, yeah. What what kind of face the monster had?
You have to use the question form. You have to use how would you put that into a
Wh-
question form?
What kind of face had? What kind of face had the monster?
That's possible, but it's very unusual. Okay, it's not wrong, but it's very unusual. What would be a more typical way of making that question?
Okay, we can see who had the hideous face.
Well, here, I'm going to help you out a little bit, okay? So
Okay, yeah.
the monster in the movie, it would help if I could
Mhm.
type. The monster in the movie had a hideous face. So here's our sentence. How would you
Mhm.
make a yes no question? How would you ask a yes no question with this sentence?
Had the monster.
Okay, that is possible, but it's not typical. It's kind of unusual to make a question in that way. It's not wrong, but it would be
Mhm.
better if you could do this in a different way. Can you think of a different way to do that?
Eh,
Any idea?
no,
No?
just gum blank, gum
Okay,
blank.
okay, that's
My head
okay.
gum blank.
That's okay. Probably in this situation, the more standard way would be to use the question word do. How so? Can you try to finish this question using the question word do?
Do the monster did the monster
Hmm.
have
That's right.
did the monster have yeah did the monster have a hideous face?
Okay. Okay. Did the monster have? Does that seem strange to you, or does that now that you're
N-
thinking about it, does
No,
that sound okay?
no, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Because that's normally how people would do it. Uh,
Yeah.
although the way you're saying it before, it's not wrong. It's just unusual. Okay, so we have did the monster have a hideous face? All right. Now, what we're going to do, now that we have our question form, now that we have the basic question form, now we can make a what kind of face question. What kind of face?
What kind of face did the monster have?
That's right. What kind of face did the monster have? We use the question
Okay.
form.
It's an easy way. It's an easy way to make a question. First make it a yes and no question, and then uh, WH question. That's a
Yeah.
very easy way to make a question. Yeah,
Yeah, that's normally how it works. There are some exceptions to that, but most of the time that will work.
that works. Yeah.
Most of the time, not always.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we have our what kind of face did the monster have? And so we have our question. And what is the most important word, do you think, in that question?
The question word first. What?
Well, I think though, when you have
What
kind of, it should be the word kind.
kind? Okay, kind of.
So how would you say
Kind.
what plus kind plus of plus face? How would you pronounce that?
What kind of face? What kind of face?
What kind of face did the monster have?
Kind of face. Yeah. Mhm.
What kind of face did the monster have? Can you say that the whole question?
Okay. What kind of face did the monster have?
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you say that? What kind of face did the monster have?
What kind of face the monster have?
Okay, don't forget your question word do. You have to use your question word do. Try again.
Okay. What kind of face did the monster have?
What kind of face did the monster have? And what is the answer?
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
Alex, what kind of face did the monster have?
The monster in the movie had a hideous face.
Okay, hideous face.
Hideous, hideous, hideous. Okay.
All right, Alex, can you read the next example? What is number two?
Okay. The trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay, have you seen that word before? Sway.
Swing, sway, swing, like moving forward and back.
Okay, yeah, or side to side, moving side to side. The trees began to sway in the wind. Pachu, have you seen that word before? Sway.
No, because I think
Mhm.
all these words are at C1 level, and I have to do this type of vocabulary
Okay,
because
no problem.
exam are targeting this type. Yeah,
But let's
yeah.
since,
So
since
no.
because it's a new word, let's see if we can find some examples. So I'm just if you look on the screen, I know you're trying not to look, but you see this person behind me.
Mm, yes.
That's
Now, yes. Yeah.
that's swaying. That's the movement of sway. So let's see. What if
Swaying.
we do like
Oh
swaying
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
field? What if we do? So if the wind is blowing, like how Pachu, can you see the flowers in the background?
Yes. Yes.
How would you
Yes.
how would
Yeah.
you describe
Beautiful.
the flowers?
They are swinging.
Swaying.
Flowers are
Not really swinging,
swaying.
swaying.
Okay. The
Swaying.
flowers are swaying.
Yeah, the
Swaying.
flowers are swaying
So
in the wind or like this. That's
yeah.
how you describe this
Yeah.
situation.
This. Yeah. This wheat flower. Wheat are
Mhm.
like. Yeah. They are found in my own palm. So
Do you have a
beautiful
farm?
to see.
Do you have a
Yes.
farm? Okay. So every day you see
Yeah.
the wheat swaying in the wind.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you see that's a useful everyday word for you.
Yes.
Okay. So our example sentence is the trees began to sway in the wind. Can you repeat that,
uh,
Pachu? The trees
uh,
began to sway in the wind.
the trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay, now is it sway or sway?
Sway,
Sway in the wind.
sway in the wind.
Pachu, can you say
Sway
the
like
first?
they.
What are the first four words? The trees began to. Can you say those first four words?
The trees began to.
Okay. Which words are important in that phrase? The trees began to.
The trees
All right.
and yeah, trees, yes.
Tree. Is it tris or trees?
Uh, trees,
Yeah, it has.
trees.
If you say trees, maybe people will understand it. Maybe not. So it's important to make that very long. The trees began to. Then we know. Then we know. And how
Okay,
about began?
so
Is that an important word?
the
Began.
yes,
Okay. And which,
yes,
that's two syllables, began. Which syllable has all of the power?
yeah.
Began.
Uh, began
Began.
is the second.
Began. Began. The trees began
Yeah,
to. The trees began to.
the trees began to.
Hmm. The trees began to. Can you say that, Alex? The trees began to.
The trees began to
Okay. Alex, what are the next four words, the final four words in that sentence?
sway in the wind.
Okay, which words are important in that phrase? Sway in the wind.
Sway, sway wind.
Okay, sway and wind. So these will be extra big words in our phrase.
Yeah,
How would you say sway plus in plus the?
sway in the,
Sway in the, sway in the,
sway
sway,
in the, okay. Sway
sway
in
in
the,
the wind.
sway in the wind.
Sway in the wind.
Sway in the wind.
Okay. The trees began to sway in the wind.
The trees began to sway in the wind.
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you say the whole sentence? The trees began to sway in the wind.
The trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay, say it again. Don't stop. Try to say it like one long word.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I stop in the middle of the sentence,
That,
and when I practice in my for my exam, mm, then it just stops. It does not record my answer because of I suddenly pause in the middle,
mm-hmm.
and if the pause is more than 3 seconds, then it doesn't record the sound.
That's when you're
So
practicing for your
yeah,
test.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah, and these classes are very helpful because all are similar to my exam for speaking. So these are very valuable
Okay.
thing for me.
Well, so can you try to
Yeah.
say the entire sentence without pausing? The trees began to sway in the wind.
The trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay. The trees began to sway in the wind.
The trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay, Pachu, can you make a when question with that information? When trees begin sway in wind?
When did the
Hmm.
tree begin to sway in the wind?
When did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
When did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
Hmm. When did the,
When did the
when did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
when did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
Alex, can you make the question? When did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
When did the trees begin to swing in the wind?
Can you say that again? Because I think I heard a couple of mistakes.
Okay. When did the trees began to sway in the wind?
Okay, I've heard one mistake. Any idea?
Yeah, I did it with wind. I say wind. I didn't say wind.
Well, I don't. That was not the mistake that I heard.
They sway?
Make the question again, and I'm going to write what you're saying.
Okay. When did the trees began to sway? Swing, to swing. Sway,
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 not swing. Sway. We want sway, not swing.
sway. Yeah.
When did?
Oh, yeah. When did the tree begin?
Oh,
Begin, yeah,
all
begin.
right. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
you have to use the simple
sorry.
form of the verb when you're making the
Yeah,
question.
begin.
Can you say it again?
When did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
When did the trees begin to sway in the wind? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thanks.
can you? Let's say the answer is right before the storm. Right before the storm. So if I say, Alex,
Okay.
when did the trees begin to sway in the wind? What is the answer?
Right before the storm, the trees start to begin to sway in the wind.
Use began. Use began. So right before the storm.
Begin. Right before the storm, the trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay, sway in the, sway in the, sway in the, sway in the.
Sway in the. Okay. Right before the storm, the trees began to sway in the wind.
Pachu, when did the trees begin to sway in the wind?
Right before the wind, the
Right before the
trees
storm.
began to.
Right before the storm. Right before the storm.
Okay. Right before the storm, the trees began to sway in the wind.
Right before the storm, the trees began to sway in the wind.
Right before the storm, the trees began to sway in the wind.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our next word for today, which is creep. Now, creep is a very popular noun. That means like a weird person. I wonder what kind of pictures we would see if we look up the word creep. Let's see. Uh, Unfortunately, it was a famous song several years ago, so we just find, let's see, creepy person.
Yes,
So if we look up creep, we just find pictures of the person singing a song. But so I'm looking up creepy person, and that's kind of like a scary
yes,
person. Here are some creepy people. Creep, creep. Do you get the idea of what? It's a very common word as a noun. It's like a scary person, a weird looking person, somebody who makes you
yeah,
feel scared. Do you know that word, Alex? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, creepy person or creepy, yeah. Creepy
Okay,
creature, creepy person. Yeah.
yeah, but this is creep as a verb, which is a little bit different. Let's see, creep, creeping. Let's see if we
I
put creep
never think
person. What?
I never think of it as a verb.
It's
I
very
never looked up as a verb. Yeah.
it's very common as a verb. It means like someone is doing something, but they're doing it quietly or secretly, so nobody can see. So here's a person
Mm,
creeping. This is creeping.
yes.
You see how he's looking.
Me.
Nobody could see. Nobody could see him doing that. It's a kind. He's doing something in secret. Here's
Okay.
another. Here's another. See how he's looking? It's kind of like a
Mhm.
secretive, hiding looking.
Like spying, yeah.
It's like spying. It could be like spying, but also it's like this. Look at this person. You see this person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
They're walking,
yeah.
but they don't want you to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing it very quietly. In the I think, and it's an irregular verb, so it's creep, crept, crept.
Okay.
So remember when Scarlett was walking down the stairs, she wanted to go to get something to drink and she didn't want anyone to hear her. So she crept down the stairs.
Crept down the stairs. Okay.
Can you imagine what that would be like in the middle of the night?
I did it. I did it many times.
You do that many times. Yeah, it's like
Mm.
walking in secret so nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand, Pachu? Do you see the picture of a person creeping?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Actually, people do to scare the little kids or the children
Yeah, you could do that
in the
for,
dark.
you could maybe do that for a joke and scare the children, bah! And then make a sound.
Yes,
But also, maybe you would do that in the middle of the night so that the children don't wake up. Maybe you want to drink
yeah,
water, so you have to go and get the water very quietly. And so maybe
yes, yes,
you creep into the kitchen to get a glass of water. Does that make sense?
yes, yes. Sometimes I wake up at, for example, 2 a.m. and
Mm-hmm.
then I slowly went to washroom
Mm-hmm.
by
You
opening the door
you
so
creep
that no one notice me.
Yeah, so you creep into the washroom. You creep into the washroom.
Yes,
Do you understand what that means?
yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, since Pachi, since you're not reading, since you're trying not to look, I'll make Alex read the example sentence.
Okay.
Alex, can you
Okay.
read the
He crept.
Go ahead.
Yes. He crept into the room so he couldn't wake anyone.
So he
He
would
wouldn't.
so he wouldn't wake
Yeah,
anyone.
wouldn't. Sorry.
Hmm.
He wouldn't wake anyone. Yep.
Okay, so do you understand the idea of that sentence now? Does that make sense to you?
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Clear now. Yeah.
So the first four words, he crept into the room. Which words would you identify as important?
Crept to room.
Okay, crept and room. So we'll make
Mhm.
those very big. And
He crept into the room.
that's right, he crept into the room. Can you say it like
He
that again?
crept into the room.
He crept into the room.
He crept into the room.
Pachu, can you say that? He crept into the room.
He crept in the room.
Into.
Oh, okay. So he crept into the room.
Okay. Uh, and the final part of that sentence is so he wouldn't wake anyone. He wouldn't wake anyone. Pachu, which words do you think
So
are important? So he wouldn't wake anyone.
at wake,
Okay, is it wake or wake?
wake.
That's like great. It's the same sound. Great. Wake.
Okay, wake,
Wake.
wake.
Uh, and any other words? So he wouldn't wake anyone.
Anyone is
Okay.
also
And which part of that word should get attention? Anyone.
is anyone, anyone,
So which
any.
any?
Yes,
Okay. Now any has two syllables. So which syllable will get all of the attention?
a, a any,
Uh-huh.
any.
So he wouldn't wake anyone. Anyone.
He
Wouldn't wake
so so he wouldn't wake anyone.
anyone.
I
Okay.
wake anyone.
Okay. We can do it like that. All right. Uh, so he crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't what?
Wake anyone.
So he wouldn't wake anyone.
Okay. Uh, so and he. How does that sound together, probably, in the middle of a phrase? If you combine the words so and he, how would that sound?
It's a sway,
So,
sway,
so he. So he wouldn't.
sway,
So he
sway,
wouldn't. So he wouldn't.
sway wouldn't,
So he
sway
wouldn't
wouldn't,
wake anyone.
sway wouldn't wake anyone.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
He crept into the room so, sway wouldn't wake anyone.
Hmm. Alex, can you say that? So he wouldn't wake anyone.
so he wouldn't wake anyone.
Okay. So he crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
So he, so he, so he,
So we,
so he,
so we,
so he
we, so
wouldn't.
we, so we wouldn't wake anyone.
See, okay, now we'll put high tones on all of these words except the word anyone. We'll make that low. He
Okay,
crept into the room
okay,
so he wouldn't wake anyone.
okay. He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
So he, so he.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't.
so we,
Yeah, I have to hear both of those sounds. It sounds like you're only pronouncing one part. So he.
okay, he crept into the room so we wouldn't wake anyone.
Okay, we make anyone low. Anyone. He crept into the
Anyone,
room so he
anyone.
wouldn't wake anyone.
Okay, he crept into the room so we wouldn't wake anyone.
Pachu, can you put a little music into your sentence? He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
Oh, is it wouldn't or wouldn't?
Wouldn't. It's
Wouldn't.
wouldn't.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't
Wouldn't.
wake anyone.
He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
Pachu, can you make a where he creep into question?
Where did he creep?
Into. We need that word.
Where did he creep?
Where did he creep
Okay.
into?
Where did he creep into?
And what is the most important word in your question? Where did he creep into?
Is where. It's
Okay.
where.
How would you
Where.
say where plus did plus he?
Where did he?
Where,
Where did he?
where did
Where?
he? Go ahead.
Where did he?
Where did he creep into?
Where did he creep into?
Alex, can you make that question? Where did he? Where did he creep into?
Where did he creep into?
And what is the answer, Alex?
He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
It's very important to hear the e sound in so-e because it's the only reason I know that you're saying he. So-e. So he wouldn't wake anyone.
Okay. He crept into the room so we wouldn't wake anyone.
Pachu, where did he creep into?
He crept into the room so he wouldn't
So he,
wake anyone.
so he wouldn't
Anyone.
wake anyone. So he wouldn't wake anyone.
So he wouldn't
Make or wake?
anyone.
Make or wake?
As wake anyone.
Try again.
Sorry, wake anyone. He crept into the room so he wouldn't wake anyone.
All right. Okay. Let's take a look at our final word for. Go ahead. What?
So yeah, sometimes I think that can I be fluent in English in my whole life or not?
It's hard.
You will.
It's really hard.
Yeah, I am very worried these days because I am not progressing as much as because my exam is also in what we call stubble because when I'm ready, yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, only you can make that decision. When are you ready? Eventually, you have to do it, right? You can't. You can't.
No,
Can't put it forever, right?
I'm doing class with. I'm doing class. I'm fortunate that I am here with you because if I not here, then yeah, what will my English? No, this is the question.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. You have
It's
to
very
a
hard.
lot of
Yeah.
practice. Okay, let's take a look at our final word for today, which is nonchalant. Which probably you have not seen that word. I would be surprised if you tell me that you know this word. Alex, have you seen that word
Yes,
before?
Never before
Okay.
today.
Well, how about you, Pachu? You said yes. You have seen it.
Yeah, I have seen because it is in GRE word.
It's a
So I have seen this
it's
word.
a what
Yeah,
word?
nonchalant.
What kind of word is it? What did you say? You said it's a.
Actually, I do not know. Yeah, nonchalant or yeah.
But you said it's a something word. You said some kind of phrase. I didn't understand it. You said GRA.
No,
Say GRA word.
yeah, GRE. Yeah, GRE. GRE word means the American University takes graduate record examination like TOEFL,
Oh,
SAT.
and is
Yeah,
that written
so
like this?
GRE.
Is it written like this? Do you see what I've written on the screen here?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
because
You
they.
know, Pachu, when you are saying letters that maybe it stands for something, then so again, this is a question of accent. Okay, where do you which thing do you focus on? And when you're saying letters, it's almost always going to be the last letter. So you must say GRA.
Yes, I know because you have already told me, so
Oh,
I
have
know
I?
well.
I don't
But
remember.
I
I'm always
G
telling everybody
yeah,
the same thing all the time. But that's very important
no,
because if you say GRA, it sounds like you're saying a word and I don't understand the word. But if you say GRA,
no,
I understand immediately.
GRA. No,
GRA, you
it
have to
is
say A in a very big
G
way. Or E. Did you say E?
GRE.
With an E. Okay,
E.
GRE. GRE.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have to say it like that.
yeah,
GRE.
yeah, GRE.
GRE. Okay. All right. So yes, it's a good word. It's a word that people use, and what it means is acting calm, acting uh, not as expected, maybe, or acting very relaxed when maybe you shouldn't be relaxed. So you see this man.
Yes,
How will
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
normally react if somebody is yelling at you? Oh, leave me alone, right? But he acts like he doesn't care.
yes, yes,
Does that make sense?
yes.
Let's see
Okay,
if we
I
can
got
find
it.
let's see if we can find another. Let's see. What if we say nonchalant robber? Okay. Well, I don't think we can find a picture. But imagine. Okay. Imagine if you were going to rob a bank. Okay. You've got your gun,
Yeah,
and you're going into the bank to
yeah,
rob the bank. Okay. Now, me, I would be very nervous. I probably would be like this. I would have my gun, but I would be looking around and be very scared and ashamed, right? How would you act, Alex or Pachu, if you were about to rob a bank?
Jesus, it's the same. Like
Like me? You would be
my
like
heart.
me?
Yeah, my heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
my heart would be bumping out, and just looking around and all the stuff. Sweating, all the stuff.
Uh, yeah,
That's
but
normal.
that's normal. That's normal. That's how you should react if you're about to rob a bank. But a professional maybe will walk in very calm, like it's nothing. And
It
then take
takes a lot of practice.
yeah, it takes a lot of practice. Do you understand, Pachu? That would be a nonchalant
yes,
robber. He just walks in,
yes.
points the gun, give me your money. Like it's no big deal, like it's nothing. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, Alex, can you read our example sentence?
He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
What does that mean?
Like he appeared in a different than what that's what in real. Pretended he is okay or pretended
Hmm.
he's not scared or just a bit. It's a pretendance, if you get me. It's not a real person. He is not real himself. Yeah, you get me.
Yeah, so he's inside he's very nervous, but he looks calm, like nothing, like it's no big deal.
Hmm.
Now those first three words, he acted nonchalant. Which words do you think are very important in our sentence?
acted, nonchalant.
Okay, acted and nonchalant. So we have acted, and which syllable has all of the focus?
Ted,
No, no, that would be acted. Acted. Is it
act,
acted
act,
or acted?
acted, yeah, yeah,
Acted. So
acted, yeah,
so it's the first syllable.
acted, yeah.
No, if you're
Okay.
having trouble, like if you're having trouble people understanding you and you say, I don't
Mm.
understand, I think I'm pronouncing all of the letters very well. It's very possible that this is the reason why people are not understanding you. If you put
Is,
the accent on the wrong syllable, it could be very difficult sometimes to understand the word that you're saying. So think about the difference.
is there a way?
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you. Is there a way I can just just master this skill, like just get the bottom of it?
Well, when
Do you
you
have a like a trick?
I don't think there's a trick. I think in some languages it's very consistent. So, it's always one particular syllable in some languages, but English is very inconsistent. It could be anywhere. And sometimes there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
rules. Go ahead.
yeah. That's normal in English. English is the language of no rules, no rules in the language.
Hmm. That's what makes it so difficult to learn. But
Mhm.
the
Good.
dictionary will tell you. The dictionary will tell you which syllable has all of the power. But I think the best way is just to notice. And there are some rules. We've talked about some of them before. But it's very
So
important.
like
Go ahead.
like in nouns, first syllables in the adjective, it's in verbs, it's the second one. I don't know. That sometimes I try to apply the rules. That's what confused me.
Yeah, maybe there are so many exceptions that it's better to just notice every time that you find a new word. It's kind of like if you learn Chinese, you just have to accept that one word has a high tone and one word has a low tone, and you just have to learn that as part of the word. You can't. There's no rule
Okay.
about when that. As far as I know, I don't know Chinese, but it's just something that
I
you have. That's very important to notice when you learn a new word. Which syllable has all of the power?
yeah, borrow the stress. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just something that you need to notice when you're learning a new word. That's what I think the
Okay.
best way of doing it.
Mhm.
Okay, and it gets confusing because, for example, nonchalant, that has three syllables, but which syllable has the power? Nonchalant.
Uh, Noncha, cha,
Which one?
chalant, lanta, nonchalant, noncha, cha,
Nonchalant. Non, non,
lant, lant,
non,
lant. Yeah.
nonchalant. It could be. This is the
Non.
complicated thing. Sometimes it could be non if you want it to be, or sometimes it could be
Mm,
lant if you want it to be.
oh,
Nonchalant. Let's make it
lant.
lant.
Okay, lant. Okay. So let's
So,
this is here, lant.
so how
Nonchalant.
how
Okay.
would you say these three words together if ak and lant are your big sounds?
Okay. He acted nonchalant.
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 Pachu, can you say that? He acted nonchalant.
He acted nonchalant.
Don't forget to whistle when you say chalant.
Okay. He acted nonchalant.
Okay. Uh, Now let's see. Let's look at the next part of that phrase, Pachu. But I knew he was nervous. Which words do you suppose are
But
are important in that phrase? But I knew he was nervous.
Is a nervous is
Okay,
one word,
this. Anything else, or just
uh,
nervous?
and I knew
Okay. All right. So we'll make new big. And now nervous has two syllables. So which syllable should we focus on? Nervous. Nervous. Which syllable has all of the power, all of the sound?
Ner, nervous,
Nervous.
nerve.
Okay, so that's our big sound here. Okay. So how would you say, but I knew he? If knew is your important word, how would you pronounce, but I knew he?
Uh, but I knew, but I knew he,
But
but
I
I
knew,
knew he,
but I knew he, but I knew he,
but I knew he, but I knew
but
he,
I knew he was,
but I knew he was,
but I knew he was nervous.
but I knew was nervous.
Nui. Don't forget the E. That's the only reason I know you're saying he, because you have a big long E there, but I knew he. Can you try again?
But I knew he,
But I knew he was nervous.
but I knew he was nervous.
Hmm. He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous.
He acted nonchalant, but I knew,
But I knew he was nervous.
but I knew he was nervous.
Okay, and now the final word, inside. Inside. That's two words together. So which word probably will get the focus?
Inside, sight,
That
inside,
would be that.
sight.
See, now here's a reason why accent is important, okay? Because I'm just going to write two words here. First, we'll put inside, inside, and then we'll put another word which sounds almost the same, okay? But number one is two words put together, okay? And when that happens, you normally will focus on the first word. And number two, it's actually kind of two words also, isn't it? Okay, but where you put the focus, if you put the wrong focus, it will sound like the other word. Do you see the two words? Oh, wait, let me move this up so you can see. Do you see the two words that I have up on the screen, Pachu?
Yes, now okay. I yes, yes.
How will you say number one?
Uh, in inside.
Inside.
Yeah,
Can you say that again? Number one?
is inside,
Inside.
inside,
And how would you say number two?
inside,
Insight. Insight.
inside, inside.
Insight. Alex, can you say number one?
Inside,
Inside. Can you say number two?
inside, yeah, insight.
There's also another word here. It's the same. There are three words. There could be a lot of confusion if you get it wrong, because this could also be incite. Incite.
Yes,
Insight.
yeah.
And that means like to cause something to happen. Okay.
These are homophones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but the point is that the difference between number one and number two is where do you place the emphasis?
Okay.
Yes.
So nervous inside. Nervous inside.
Nervous inside.
Nervous inside.
He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
He acted nonchalant, but but I knew he was, but I knew he was
Nervous inside.
nervous inside.
Okay. Alex, can you try to say, but I knew he was nervous inside?
but I knew he was nervous inside.
Okay, he acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
Okay, that's right. All right, let's see, what kind of question can we make with our final word today? Let's see. Alex, can you make a how you knew he was nervous inside question?
So how did did you know he was nervous inside?
Say it again.
How did you know he was nervous inside?
Okay, and what is your most important word in that question?
How did you? How did you?
How?
How
How?
did you?
How did you? How did you?
How did you?
How did you know?
How did you know?
How did you know that he was?
How did you know that he was?
How did you know that he was nervous?
How did you know that he was nervous?
How did you know that he was nervous inside?
How did you know that he was nervous inside?
Oh, let's say, Pachu, can you do that? How did you know that he was nervous inside?
How did you know that he was nervous inside?
hmm And let's say the answer is because he was robbing a bank. So I knew
Oh,
because robbing bank.
I knew. Uh, I knew he was nervous inside because he was robbing bank.
Robbing a bank. Robbing a bank. Robbing a bank.
Robbing a bank.
I knew that he was. I knew that he was. I knew that he was.
I knew that he was.
I knew that he was nervous inside.
I knew that he was nervous inside
I knew that he was nervous inside because he was.
I knew that he was nervous inside because
Because he was. Because he was. Because he.
because he was because he was
Because he was robbing a bank.
because he was robbing a bank.
I knew that he was nervous inside because he was robbing a bank.
I knew he was nervous inside because he was robbing a bank.
Okay. Alex, how did you know that he was nervous inside?
I knew that he was nervous inside because he was robbing a bank.
That's right. I knew that he was nervous inside because he was robbing a bank.
Okay.
All right, let's
Do
try.
you want me to repeat?
Well, let's just practice the word nonchalant one more time. He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside. Just say that sentence one more time.
He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
Pachu, can you say that one more time? He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
He acted nonchalant, but I knew he was nervous inside.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're finished for today. So tonight at around 5 or 5:30. So that means what time is that? That's like 12 hours. That's like 9 or 9.5 hours from now. We will continue our comic book just practice. So if you want to practice, please show up exactly. I'll put in advance what time it starts. Please show up exactly at that time so you can practice immediately. Okay, we won't be spending 2 hours reading first. We'll just be practicing. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your participation today. Thank you for your comments and questions. And I hope that you come back in about 8.5 hours and we'll practice some more. Okay.
Yep, it's a good idea. Thanks,
Thank you
man.
so much.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.